Here we go. Come on, baby. Kick on. It's like an old Ford. You got to start it. There you go. Yes. Welcome, folks, once again to the uncoordinated show that I like to call Wheelchair Wednesday. Every Wednesday, we like to try to get a new person in to talk about their life in a wheelchair. Today, we have a lucky person coming to us, brave person coming to us from the great state of Maine. We're going to get to him in just a minute. But before we do that, let's roll the intro. Welcome to Wheelchair Wednesday. Let's welcome Robbie, Lancaster. How you going, bud? How's it happening?
Oh, not too bad. Just living the dream. How about you?
Oh, you know, same old, same old. Now, being from Maine, do you use the word bud a lot?
Definitely.
That's awesome. I see a lot of shows where guys are from Maine. There's a show I watch called The Great Cabin Maine Masters or Great Maine Cabin Masters or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah, those guys are awesome. I like that.
It's always bud or buddy.
Yeah, now, whereabouts in Maine do you live?
Skowhegan, Central Maine.
So that's kind of right in the middle of the state.
Up there.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, so you're probably one of our most northernest people we've ever interviewed.
Probably.
Heck yeah. Well, to start it off, why don't you go ahead and just introduce yourself, tell people who you are, and kind of how your accident happened, how you got in a wheelchair.
Well, my name's Robbie. I was young when my accident happened. I made a dumb choice and got into a vehicle with somebody who was drinking, age 17, and made it about a mile down the road, and we rolled the truck, and I got flung, and then the truck landed back on top of me and broke my back. I'm a T10 incomplete. But yeah, that's about how it happened.
So after your accident, how long was you in the hospital for?
I've been told I actually was in there a very short time compared to some people. I was only in there for 3 months.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that is kind of short compared to, I've heard of people being in there for 6 months, depending on their situations, or more, and then having to go to a home. And like you said beforehand, you got the incomplete, you're a lower kind of T, so you kind of got lucky there. So you're a T10. Where's your, I'm a T3, T4, so I'm like right below the chest line pretty much.
My belly button.
Oh, so about belly button area? Okay.
Yep.
So you still got like ab muscle control a little bit?
A little bit.
Man, I'd kill to have some of that.
Side to side, not so much, but forward and back, definitely a lot more that way.
Okay. So let me ask you this. How long have you been down? How long was that ago?
17 years going on 18.
Man, so you've been in it for a while, huh?
Yep. And it's been a long journey.
Right, I'm sure. Now, with all the stuff you've been through and all the things you've learned, all the people you've met, and kind of the person you've become, my second question kind of leers on that type of deal. So it's, would you walk if you could? Now, what I mean by that is if you could go back, all the way back, and not get in that truck that night and live your life the rest of the way you were living, would you go that way, or would you stay where you're at?
And that's one of the questions I've been thinking about after watching a couple of these. And as much as I would love to say, no, I wouldn't go back, but you still got to wonder, the accident did make me who I am, and I was going down a path of a lot of partying and stuff like that. So it kind of steered me away from that, but I would say no. I'd stay where I'm at.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel it's different for a lot of people. It just depends on, circumstances, really.
Yep.
Yep. What about the dating/married question?
Single.
You ain't found a pretty lady up there in Maine yet, huh?
It's Maine.
It's Maine.
But no, unfortunately, right now I'm dealing with some bed sores and stuff.
Oh
so,
yeah, those are horrible. I hate to hear that.
And the time that I get to spend up and whatnot, I'd rather spend at the garage or out four wheeling or something like that. So unfortunately, ladies ain't my priority right now.
Yeah, yeah, and it's you know, that's something it's pretty much whatever makes you happy. You know what I mean? It's what you're
Yep.
looking for. If you're looking for some zen and peace, and you don't want to deal with all that, you ain't got to worry about it.
And
Go
that's
out to the
just
garage, turn some wrenches. Yeah.
oh yeah, what I do every day, all day.
So you've been a garage guy, I guess. What garage junkie? I guess you could call it for a long time, or
Yeah.
what? I mean, I see a lot of these. What's that one that we got up in the guys that are up in Maine or Canada? Garage rehab or something like that with the two guys. The guy with the
I think that
dreadlocks.
is Canada.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Man, there's a lot of people up north that just like to get into that junk stuff. Are you into junk cars, or what do you get into?
Oh, I'm more 4x4s.
Oh, okay.
Do a lot of Jeeps and stuff like that out in the woods. So we like to wheel around, go play in the mud, climb some hills and stuff like that.
Yeah, yep, for sure. Yeah, Mike watching live, he said Rust Valley. That's what it's called. Yeah, that's what it's. Okay, cool.
Yep.
So you do a lot of like four wheeling up in Maine, and because you said you're in the middle, so you're not by the coast. A lot of stuff people see from Maine, it's fishermen and stuff like that.
Oh, and that's just it. That's where Maine's big tourist scene is out by the coast or the national parks, really.
Right. Well, they got a lot of that up there.
Yep.
All right. Well, let me ask you this: what's your biggest pet peeve about being in a chair?
Fucking stairs.
Yeah.
You don't realize how many stairs there are until you can't go up them.
Absolutely. I agree. It's one thing I noticed about my old town. I was driving around. I'm like, what? Can't go in there. Can't go in there. Can't go in there.
Yep.
Because you've been in there before, and you're like, nope.
With Maine being a smaller, more rural state, unfortunately, they haven't caught up with a lot of the bigger cities, so a lot of shit isn't handicap accessible and all that.
Right.
Makes life a little bit more difficult, but ain't bad.
You ever bitch at anybody about not being able to get in their place or having a hard time or anything, and then they fix it? Did they do anything for it? Because normally, if you talk to the businesses, they will.
I had one tattoo shop that was actually really accommodating. They put a little, I wouldn't call it a ramp because it was only like really a stair. So they had a piece of plywood that they'd pull out if I came over.
Mm-hmm.
And they also, my wheelchair was too wide to fit through their doorway. So they actually pulled the door off so I could get into the back room.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it's, and like you said, it's just, it's crazy how many places you can't get in. But like you said, if you find somewhere that you really want to get into, normally if you talk to somebody, they'll try to make a way,
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah, that's true. What is something that you wish you could do that you could no longer do?
See, that's a hard one for me because...
And you can only pick one, right? Because there's so many.
Yeah. And not even that, it's... I really do a lot that do about everything I want to do. I can pull myself up into big trucks. I can get down on the ground and back up into my chair.
Right.
I just try not to let anything limit me.
Heck yeah. But there's nothing that sticks out that, like, you know what I mean, really bugs you. You're like, man, I wish I could just do that again.
Dirt bikes.
See, there you go. Dirt bikes. For me, it's golf. I wish I could go golf normally again.
Yep. Back before my accident, I was always on a motorcycle of some sort. And now, yeah, I know there's adaptive abilities and whatnot, but it's easier for me to hop on a four-wheeler,
Right. Right, and it's not the same. I mean, when you're kicking gears and, you know what I mean, actually feeling the bike beneath your legs, and it's a whole different thing. I've been on a couple bikes when I was younger, but it's just not for me. I'm more of a four-wheel guy.
Yep.
Four-wheel roof, doors, windows around me. Yep, I'm that type of guy.
The older I'm getting, the more that I enjoy that.
Yeah.
Protection.
Oh, yeah, especially in the weather. I know, man, you guys get some crazy weather up there. I'm from Michigan, so, I mean, I get a little bit of it, but...
Yep.
Did you guys get a bad winter this winter?
It actually weren't that bad. It's been weird weather up here the last couple of years. The winters haven't been quite as harsh. Like, I remember when I was a kid and snowbanks would be as tall as fucking buildings.
Right.
And now we get one storm, then the snow's gone pretty much. It never really accumulates as like it used to.
Yeah, I think, you know, right when they started messing around with that weather modification stuff, man, that's when it started going off. We're going to be talking about that tonight on another show I do called Rick and Rowdy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy. I agree with you, man. I mean, here in Michigan, same way. We used to have big old snow trucks come through. We'd play in the big piles that they leave, and it's not the same no more.
Build tunnels and all that, and it's just not the same anymore.
Yep. Hell, even the snow is different. You try to put a lighter underneath it, and it won't melt. It'll just turn black.
I saw a video of that the other day. Some lady that was trying to burn it, and it wouldn't melt or anything. Like,
yeah, there's some weird stuff going on in our world, Robbie. Yeah. That's for sure.
I will 100% agree with you on that one.
Now, what type of wheelchairs do you use? Do you have manual and power, or you just use mostly manual?
I just straight manual. Right now I have, I think it's called Apex. But
yeah, you got the probably the carbon fiber. Yep. Yeah, I got that same one. Yep, they're light. They're nice.
It's actually a really nice chair.
Yeah.
But I've been saving my pennies, and my dream wheelchair is a box off-road wheelchair.
Oh, okay. What do you mean? Like, are you talking about like the ones that like Ben Hunsinger makes, or?
Nope. Mike Box wheelchairs.
I've never heard of them.
Oh, you'll have to check them out. They build a manual chair that's got full suspension, the whole works. He's the one that builds a lot of the WCX or XM chairs there.
Nice.
WCXM, yeah.
Heck yeah. I'll have to check that out.
For sure, they're cool.
What do you, now, I know a lot of us, the guys, we name our stuff. We name our trucks, our toys, our bikes, What, do you have a name for your chair at all?
You know what? I never even thought about naming it for some reason.
A lot of people don't. You're not alone in that.
And you're right, because I got named for my car and everything else, but it never crossed my mind to name my chair.
Yeah, I bet you'll think about it now.
No, most definitely.
Oh, man. Yeah, I got a couple different names for my chairs. So, like, this one that I'm in is my power wheelchair. It's Johnny 5. Just because I don't know if you ever seen that movie, Short Circuit.
Oh, yeah.
And then my other one inside, which is that one you got, the Apex, that I just called Old Blue because it's got it's got blue accents all over it. So I thought that was cool. Yep. All right. Well, next question I got for you is being incomplete. I know that's a little different than me, per se.
Yep.
What kind of pain do you deal with?
I deal with a lot of lower back pain, but nothing really in my legs. It's kind of hard to explain because a lot of times, because how it is incomplete, I feel more of a pressure than a pain.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of different.
Right. You get any those jolts or anything, like electric shock?
No.
Nerve.
Back when I first got into my accident, I used to a lot of spasms and just whatever,
Right.
But as years have gone by, they've gone away pretty much.
Heck yeah. Well, I mean, shoot, that's good to hear. I mean, everybody has a different injury, and it's some people deal with super bad pain like crazy.
And that's just it. I've learned spinal cord injuries, they're never all the same, that everyone's different.
Yep. Next question I got for you is, what is the thing that helps you the most after your injury?
Family. I'm very blessed with a tight-knit family, and even on the hardest days when I wanted to give up, they wouldn't let me. And I just couldn't disappoint them like that,
For sure.
And it kept pushing me to be a better person, and they're the reason why I am as far as I am now.
Heck yeah. Well, let's give a round of applause for the families out there. They'd stay with their people there. Let's turn that up. There we go. All right. What about hobbies? You say you do like wrenching and stuff. Did you have different hobbies before your accident and then you changed them? Or do you
Not
just kind of do
really.
the same thing?
Yep, still kind of do the same thing, just found different ways to do it. Me and my nephews mess around with a lot of RCs and stuff
Yep, I
like
got some of
that.
those. Yep, those are fun.
Yep. Oh, heck yeah. But yeah, hobbies are mostly just car shit, RCs, being out in the woods, fishing, hunting, all the typical stuff.
Heck yeah, that's always something I think I should, tell people too for some advice. Like, hey man, if you're bored and you just want to do something and you can move a little bit of your hands, try an RC car.
For real.
Super
Because
fun.
they're a blast. And like, no matter what type of stuff you're into, you can find an RC for it. You like rally racing, you can find a rally RC. You like rock crawling, you can find a rock crawler RC, you know?
Drifting, you got drift RCs, yep.
Yep, drifters, monster trucks nowadays, and
Drag
all that.
racers.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You can do what? Anything you can do with a big car, you can do with an RC.
Boats, planes even. You can get those.
Yeah.
Helicopters,
Oh,
drones.
the planes always scared me.
Yeah, no, I don't want to spend that much money on an RC plane because I know as soon as I do, it's gone. As
Yep.
soon as I get it up over the tree line, it's bye. It's out of there.
Yep. That's my thoughts too.
Yep. What about traveling? You do any traveling at all?
Not a whole lot. Any traveling I really have done has just been by vehicle. Really, I think the furthest I've ever been out of state is Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty much know my Northeast, and that's it.
What'd you go down to Maryland for?
Actually, my mom lived down there for a while one summer. I went down to visit her and hang out and check it out. And I learned real quick the city was not for me.
Right. Yeah, I hear you there, man. I grew up as a city kid. I even had a little, a bike club we called the City Boys Bike Club. And we wasn't even in the city. We was in small town like USA. But I always thought I loved the city, and then I got a little bit older and I went to the city and I'm like, man, this shit's big. Like, this is a big place. And then when you get to a busy city, the people, nah. The older you get, the more you just want to kind of push everybody off and kind of sit in your own little area. So way more peaceful. Yep. All right. Well, Robbie, last one I got for you today is what would be the biggest piece of advice you would give to somebody who is newly injured right now?
Don't give up. No matter how bad it seems, it'll always get better. And anything you put your mind to, you can do. You might have to do it a different way. You might take a little bit longer doing it, but if you put your mind to it, you can do it.
Heck yeah. I like it, folks. It's a good piece of advice. Well, Robbie, I want to thank you for coming on. Everybody, we're gonna link Robbie's socials in the description if you want to check him out. Hit him up on Facebook. I'm not sure if you got Instagram at all, but
no, Instagram I don't really mess around with, but I do have a YouTube page. It's Mr. Handicapable.
There we go.
Welcome.
Yep, we'll put that down there. They can click on that, check you out. I do that all after the show, so there's nothing there now. I know. Don't message me, folks. I get it if you're watching live, but we'll put that on there as soon as we get done. And then, check them out and then follow along. Heck yeah. Well, Robbie, I appreciate you coming through, buddy.
Thanks for having me.
Hang out with me just a second. Everybody else, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on Wheelchair Wednesday. Peace.